Now, in a recent video, I talked about one of Donald Trump's lawyers, Mark Kasowitz. Now, when I read that story before doing the segment, I was thinking, man, who in their right mind would want to be a lawyer for Donald Trump? I mean, knowing how Donald Trump is the way it is. I mean, look, reading that article yesterday, how he would routinely like listen to his lawyers and then do the complete opposite. Like, okay, Donald, don't tweet, don't do this, don't do that. And what would Donald Trump do? Oh, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then he would do the complete opposite. What kind of person would want to be a lawyer for Donald Trump? I mean, you got to be a little bit crazy to be able to be Trump's lawyer. Well, it turns out that what I was thinking wasn't exactly so far from the truth. Now, recently, ProPublica had reported on Wednesday that Kasowitz had recently threatened a stranger in a string of profanity-laden emails. Oops. Now, I have those emails. I have that exchange. I'm gonna talk about that, okay? I'm gonna read those to you. But first, ProPublica writes, the man, a retired public relations professional in the western United States, who had asked not to be identified, read ProPublica's story this week on Kasowitz and sent the lawyer an email with the subject line, "Resign now." Now, here's the following conversation. Let me just point out that it doesn't go well. Now, the guy writes, and it begins at 9:28 p.m. Eastern Time, when the man sent the following message to Kasowitz's firm's account. He said, "Mark, you don't know me, I don't know you, but I believe it's in your best interest and the long-term interest of your firm to resign from your position, advising the president re-pending federal legal matters. No good can come from this, and in fact, your name may turn out to be a disparaging historical footnote in the presidency of Donald J. Trump." So this email, it's like, hey man, you got to go. Like, look, if you're going to look out for yourself and your firm, get the hell out. Like, abandon ship, abandon ship. I actually think that this guy was sort of trying to help him. So what was Kasowitz's response? 5 minutes later, Kasowitz responded with a 2-word reply. Fuck you. Hey man, okay, that's pretty clear. If you want to leave it at that, wonderful. At least you know how you feel, okay? And it doesn't get all threatening or weird. But see, he's Trump's lawyer, and you got to be a special kind of person to be around Trump, so he could not leave it at just those 2 words. 15 minutes later, Kasowitz had sent a second email. Quote, "And you don't know me, but I will know you. How dare you send me an email like that? I'm on you now. You are fucking with me now. Let's see who you are. Watch your back, bitch." And then he added, "You're a bitch. You're a pirate bitch." Not really. Not really. That's not what he did. Now, of course, these are some fun emails. Okay. Now, how did the man respond who originally sent the email? Well, he said, "Thank you for your kind reply. I may be in touch as appropriate." Oh, okay. So that he's taking it well. So Kasowitz had a response to that. He said, "Call me if you want a conversation. I will have it with you. You are such a piece of shit. Call me. Don't be afraid, you piece of shit. Stand up. If you don't call, you're just afraid. Call me." And to show how serious he was, he actually did put his cell phone number in the email. And it was redacted, of course. Now, 33 minutes after that man's initial email, Kasowitz, who hadn't had enough, sent a 4th response. He said, "I'm Jewish. I presume you are too. Stop being afraid. Call me. Or give me your number, and I will call you. Call me maybe." Now, here's where it gets a little freaky. Quote, "I already know where you live. I'm on you. You might as well call me. You will see me. I promise, bro." Look, aside from the seemingly threatening elements to it, who has a email with the bro? I'm just saying. But anyway, So that little exchange, very, very unhinged, right? But again, he's Trump's lawyer, takes a very special kind of person to want to represent Donald Trump, as I keep having to say, okay? So this is why it doesn't actually surprise me. Now, ProPublica had confirmed the man's phone number, matched his stated identity, technical details in the email, such as IP addresses and name of intermediate mail servers, also showed the emails came from Kasowitz's firm. So there's no doubt this is a guy. No doubt. Now, they also confirmed that Kasowitz used the number. Now, ProPublica knows about this, and also the guy who sent the first email to Kasowitz, he's like, holy shit, this guy's unhinged. I'm actually going to fear for my safety, and I'm going to send in the details of these emails to the FBI, because I actually feel like I'm in danger. Holy shit. Now, again, how did this begin? Where did this email even come from? Well, the guy who sent it basically saw this ProPublica story that was featured on MSNBC. Now, what they reported is that Kasowitz, who was involved in this investigation with Russia, is actually not seeking a security clearance. Well, that's weird, because in order to really investigate this and defend Trump on this, it would help to have security clearance, because there's actually some classified material involved in this, right? Now, experts in the case said that Kasowitz could have trouble getting a security clearance because of what multiple sources described as a recent history of alcohol abuse. Oh, now it gets interesting. And former employees also said that Kasowitz had engaged in behavior that made them, quote, uncomfortable. If these emails are any indication, then yeah, it would make sense that some people would feel very uncomfortable around Kasowitz. Just say. Now, his spokesman afterwards issued a statement saying, no, Mark Kasowitz has not struggled with alcoholism. That's fake news. Almost literally saying fake news, right? He's also not coming to the office intoxicated, which apparently was another charge. And attorneys have not had to go across the street to the restaurant during the workday to consult Kasowitz on work matters. So apparently another charge was, hey, man, I'm over here in the restaurant having a couple of beers. If you need anything, I'll be over there. No, you're supposed to be doing your job. Again, we don't know if those allegations are true, but that's from people who used to work with Mark Kasowitz. Now, he says, no, that's not true at all. He's not a raging alcoholic. No. Really? Those emails sound like somebody who's like on a bender and going, oh, you motherfucker. Sounds like something an alcoholic would do, but again, I don't know for sure, so I'm not saying one way or the other. Okay? Now, what's important about this, though, is whether or not the emails constitute an actual actionable threat. Now, experts on this actually had a mixed opinion, which is very interesting. Now, he said when considering, and this is Daniel Citron, University of Maryland law professor, and author of a book on online harassment, so she would know a little bit about this. She says, when considering whether words constitute a true threat versus protected speech, the threat has to be credible, and the person has to intend to make the victim fear imminent physical harm. Citron pointed to a particular in Kasowitz's statements, quote, I already know where you live, and you will see me, I promise. And then, bro, right? She said, that's incredibly troubling language. If I'm a prosecutor, I'm going to think hard about that. Understandably. But again, does it really cross the line? Well, Ron Kuby, a New York lawyer who argued a case that overturned a portion of the state's harassment law on free speech grounds, said he believed that Kasowitz had not violated any laws. He said, when Kasowitz says things like, I already know where you live, he is inching closer to the line. But in my view, as someone who despises the Trump administration, so he's not biased on this, okay, but has litigated these issues, he is well on the legal side of the line. So again, experts are fairly mixed on this one. I'm more of like, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying, Danielle, and I totally understand, but I'm kind of with the free speech argument. It's an online argument. And yeah, it's a little, it rubs up against the line of like, hey, I know where you live. But he's not saying something like, I know where you live, and I'm going to come beat your ass. No, that's an actual threat. He just says, I know where you live, and you will see me around. Well, what's the context for that? Like, you will see me, like, you will, what, like, I'm going to sue you, you'll see me in court. Okay, that could mean that. Or you could see me with, you know, as I hide in the back of your car with duct tape. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. It's very, very vague. So to say that this is online harassment that is violent and therefore illegal, a bit of a stretch. So I don't think that he'll get in trouble for this. Likely not. And I'm actually okay with that. However, you shouldn't email stuff like this. Don't do that. That's not smart. That's stupid. But anyway, the spokesman for Katsowitz, after this story came out, emailed ProPublica, and they said, Mr. Katsowitz, who is tied up with client matters, says he intends to apologize to the writer of the email referenced in today's ProPublica story. While no excuse, the email came at the end of a very long day that at 10 p.m. was not yet over. The person sending that email is entitled to his opinion, and I should have not responded in that inappropriate manner. I intend to send him an email stating just that. This is one of those times where one wishes he could reverse the clock, but of course, I can't. Look, yes, this is totally PR. I get it. It's a PR apology. And so, whatever, man. Is he going to apologize? Isn't he going to apologize? I don't know. Maybe it doesn't really matter, but you should probably not do that. Either way, you shouldn't send horrible emails. Like, instead, this guy sends you an email, you don't respond to it. Like, I get hate mail all the time. Wait, am I going to go respond? I'm coming for you, bro. And, you know, I'm going to add in stuff like, you're a pirate, bitch. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take time to address hate mail. Every once in a while, I'll leave a snarky comment on somebody's YouTube comment of me, like saying like, hey, man, thanks. Appreciate it. Something like that, because that's fun. Like, go ahead and troll me. That's hilarious, right? But I'm not going to flip out over an email. And it wasn't even a mean email, by the way. This guy says, you better resign because it's probably going to be better for your business. You don't want to go down with the Trump ship that it looks like it's pretty sinking. Okay? But again, that's just my opinion on this whole thing. But I think what this really shows you, though, is the kind of people that associate with Mr. Trump. And that's really the important part of this. Because Katsowitz has like a lot of people around Trump, he has a reputation, I've learned, for being sort of a tough guy. So take that as you will, but that's the kind of people who Donald Trump surrounded himself with. And so that's the kind of person that Mr. Katsowitz is. And that's exactly the kind of lawyer I think that Donald Trump deserves. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.